When I first got back, or when I forget exactly when this is, but when I first got back, a bunch of people screamed and said, "Are you going to make us eat your shit?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Anyway, and that's another thing is I immediately called for investigations and also reports and information because, like I said, I forget exactly who I was with or whatever, but I basically said, what do you mean am I gonna make you eat your shit, eat my shit? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, like I said, and then, later on, of course, I found out about Papa. And basically, the shit eaters are basically, like little Papa's boys are a bunch of black people eating a bunch of opium, and then, like I said, they would poop it out onto trays, and then they would cook it in the oven, I guess. Like I said, I didn't actually witness this firsthand. This is all reporting, and like I said, there's a film of these Papa's boys out in the desert somewhere, like doing lizard, or and for years he'd be like, do the lizard to his little black boys, little black bald Papa's boys or whatever, and they would like spread their legs and like basically like shit over trays. So like I said, and then they would cook it in an oven or leave it out dry in the desert, and then they would ship it in bags as fertilizer, and then they would cook it again or something like that, and then they would slice into little cubes and put it in gin. And he would tell people that you have to get your medicine every day or else you're going to die. To all these people, and that was basically Black Papa. Pretty much, I guess, the Bloods and the Crips leader. I guess, or the Papa's Boys leaders, Anyway, he was someone between 1910, 1920, 1930, somewhere around there. Like I said, eventually, I'm pretty sure the Irish locked him up or something like that. Basically put him where, and I think he spent 20 to 30 years in prison or a jail or something. And wrote all kinds of stuff. He's the guy that and he was trying to pretend like Ford was a motor company. Like I said, there was this other guy that was dressing in all white that was running around, and like I said, he tried to take over one of my factories. Like I said, maybe it was the Detroit, Michigan, or whatever factory. I started building a car company there. Started building some sort of company there, and basically he walked in and pretty much he was trying to pretend like he owned it. And like I said, it's the same thing with Nixon and JFK and Jimmy Carter. Basically, they were trying to pretend that they owned stuff when it was me that owned stuff because I owned America. And there's a bunch of senators, a bunch of presidents trying to pretend like they were doing these projects and that it was them or their brothers or their sons that actually owned all these buildings. And it's like, no, my name is Lucifer Starr. White Star Lines. I purchased Germany and France, and I think as I built things, basically. Anyway, eventually, like I said, I bought America or owned America pretty much, and that's why I named America. And that's also why I've done the Constitution and all the laws for American, and also why there's sheriff badges or star badges, and why that's what all the stars are about. All the stars on the thing. On the White Star Lines, and in Germany there's all those people with the coats and sewn on stars and stuff like that. That's what that stands for. That means Lucifer White Star Lines. And so I don't know why people would be sewing on patches of stars on their clothing. I guess they ran out of badges or ran out of gold. I mean, we should have had plenty more than enough. Or maybe they took away the badges from the people or something like that. But I mean, all my employees, star employees, White Star Lines, Blue Star, Black Star, probably even Red Star. It's Lucifer Starline Industries, LS Industries. Also LS Island, and it was L and S. Belfast, around the world conglomerate, basically. We built a colony ship, LSF-A. I bought America, basically, and we became kind of like American Airlines, or we just switched the names around. But like I said, we didn't go out of business. It's still, stars on the flag, that kind of thing, stuff like that. Like I said, not CCCP either. That's not me. That's African, some sort of government, or some sort of idiot, or someone in Africa. Sorry, I don't mean to call you idiot. Anyway, he was attacking Germans in Africa, and then saying that blah 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 or something like that in Africa. One of these psychopaths, black people in Africa, basically was going and killing Germans would own stores or whatever, and or Irishmen would, or Englishmen would own stores or whatever, and white people would own stores, and he would go and he'd kill the people and then rape the women and basically take over the store in Africa. Anyway, so I had stores in Africa too, though. So, and that's where me and him went, because it's like, well, I'm Lucifer White Star, Red Star, Blue Star, even Black Star. I even had black people working for me, the Black Star Lines. And it's possible my black people or my black Star Line people went against me. I'm not exactly sure. But Black Star, all the star groups, Star Mines, Star this, Star that, Lucifer Star, LS. Ring a bell? Belfast, Ireland, England, Russia, and also America. And also Mexico. But like I said, I love the Mexico. Long live Mexico! Viva la Mexico! Like I said, I turned over the Mexico to Mexicans, basically, or Spanish, or whatever. Anyway, as I don't need that many land or that many countries. But I still built it. I still put in a water system there and did a lot of other stuff there. So I still built it, and like I said, after I gave up Mexico, because I was like, it's a desert. I mean, I bought all the land and everything else, and put in a water system, and made it pretty cool and pretty nice, and built it for the Mexicans. I was like, all right, bye. See ya. So Mexico was like, well, we love you. So anyway, and that's why Mexico was like coming into America and all that other stuff, because they were protecting me, I guess, in California or something. Like I said, I named California and named America, and like I said, I was a great inventor and basically the great long old Lucifer Star. So I think when I gave up Mexico, it was one of the Mexican leaders, Viva la whatever her name, Hana whatever. I don't know, Pocahontas? No, I don't know. It was one of the Mexican leaders, but basically she loved me because I gave the country to her. So she was all of a sudden basically like leader of a country. So anyway, and she had some smelly men. Apparently she was a woman of the night or a woman of the whatever. But I was like, who cares what she is? She's anyway though. She was a pretty cool woman though. So anyway, so her and her men were supporting me and all that other stuff. So I had a lot of support basically. And the Irish, that's why basically the Confederacy lost. That's why Nixon and Jimmy Carter lost, really. That's why they actually lost. Because, I had so many people that just love me and like me. The White Star Line group, basically. Anyway, we were around the world. We were very, 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 very big in Germany. All those aircraft, the piston-driven aircraft and stuff. Like, I invented the air-cooled engine too, but I didn't really like it. We had all kinds of problems with it, so I didn't really do them that much. So mostly I was piston engines, and piston engines were way better. I invented the piston engine, the internal combustion engine, and the secret oil system. Anyway, so all my people basically, and we were all fighting for independence because, like I said, I don't really need Mexico. I don't really need England. I don't really need China or any of these other countries. Like, I just wanted my little America. And mostly just California. So basically, it was pretty much just given to me, but I don't really know. I'm a great leader, and basically I had fair laws and fair rules because I'm actually your creator and everything. I'm the great Lucifer Star. Anyway, so land of freedom and all that other stuff. So, and I had mines everywhere, and sold and invented lots of things. And my little engineers, like if it wasn't for Nixon or JFK or somebody like trying to kill off my scientists, it would have been a lot easier. But like I said, there are a lot of people that are trying to kill my workers and kill my employees. And like I said, there's film of basically a bunch of black people trying to ram my Lucifer Star ships, my Starline ships, my White Star ships, in what's called in my LS yard, my White Star Line yard, Belfast, basically. I had a bunch of ships there, and my ship captains would be going out to sea and stuff, and a bunch of black people were taking over ships and like putting guns to people's heads and like trying to ram my ships. And it wasn't very nice. But they just damaged the ships a little bit, and we'd just repair them. Usually they just bounce right off and stuff like that. Anyway, so for you, I don't know why Black Star Line went psycho against me. I don't know. So anyway, I guess because I was White Star Line and they were Black Star Line, I don't know. I don't really get it. But a bunch of black people were going against me, even though I employed them. So anyway, I don't really know. I don't really know exactly what happened, but basically, so anyway, but well, I mean, Papa was a really bad person, and I kicked Papa out of Warsaw and a bunch of other things, and Papa was running around with his drugs and slapping people, and he was a psychopath. So anyway, like I said, I had a lot of Germans, a lot of Irish, and a lot of other people. So anyway, yeah, I mean, and I'm the actual creator of the human and female life form type, and also the creator of other life forms. So and that's who Lucifer Star is, builder of stars and planets. It's all in the name, as they say. So, I mean, it's just like, well, I mean, a long time ago, stars used to just be a cross or like a little cross and two little lines, basically, and that represented star. So, I mean, the symbols changed over the years, to basically like a, like the sheriff badge and all that stuff. That's star employee, basically. Anyway, later on, I'd own or hire police departments, or have police departments trained as well for the cities or something like that. Still basically underneath me. Like I said, I named America, and that's why all the dates on the back of the Constitution relate to me. So anyway, yeah, I'm just like, well, it doesn't really matter to me, but I mean, you should know who your creator is, and you should know who LS is. Like I said, you look at all the old trains; they say LS on the side, and then a number. That stands for Lucifer Star and the number. And those are my trains. Manufactured either in Belfast, the Lincolnshire boilers. Like I said, I had great Irishmen and great Scotsmen. And like I said, I had a lot of really, 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 really good employees. We made bells, and like I said, we made gold bells, we made silver bells, we made bells out of brass. We made all kinds of bells. I think even those bells that you have to heat up to go ding on in China. Like I said, I had a lot of Chinese workers too. That's why I was when they were trying to get me to lock up my Chinese employees or some employees. They didn't ask me about the Germans, but they asked me about the Chinese. They're trying to get me to have the Chinese people locked up, and I was like, no, you can't lock them up. You can't lock them up just because they're my citizens now. They're my employees. They're my people. Like, you can't once they're in my country, they're part of our country. That's it. If a Chinese person is in America, he's in America. He's an American. He is no longer whatever. He is now. I'm not going to lock up my own employees. I'm not going to lock up my own citizens. So I fought them for days, basically. They were trying to get me to order it, and I was like, no, I won't order it. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, so all this happens because they carpet bombed a bunch of people, they locked a bunch of people up, they killed a bunch of people, without me knowing or without telling me, and they're trying to get me to say that I did it. Like even the nuking of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and those weren't the only cities that were nuked. There were a lot of other cities that were nuked that weren't that I didn't even know about originally, but I found out about, of course. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that they were trying to do with my company, with my stuff. Like, General Rodney, but because my people would have just been like, who the fuck are you, Rodney? Get out of the way. And Mr. like even Jimmy Carter, like Reagan was the only guy that actually kind of wanted to be in there. And I said he could go ahead and be in there and basically do the parades and basically be my spokesman to the world. As long as he stayed within the lines, as far as what I wanted to do. So I'm not sure exactly what Reagan did. And like I said, there's all these documented histories. There's all this history, all this documentation that goes along with, the Japanese. Everyone was doing a documented history. Even I hope even the Middle East and the Gypsy Empire too, because I wanted everything remembered. Because these are all my great people. So